Guys, right then, so I'm going to do that video on how I make my scale bungee cords for you. Show you the things that I use. Now you can do it with a lot less than this if you're a bit ingenious. You don't need all these things. I've just got these, so I'm using them. You can do it with just a pair of pliers like these if you're a bit clever. These have got a wire cutter on them and they've got their gripping points, but I'm going to use separate wire cutters. Pointed nose ones if you want to make the curve, and I don't think I need these ones. Pieces. Right then, so what I'm going to do, think about the length of them when you make them as well, because if you make them too long they're not going to look very scale. So just take your hairband now. I've got two types here. I've got the type that doesn't have a, what's the name, these like melted together on the joints, and then you've got this type that's got the clip. We're not going to be using that. Let's cut this one first. So we cut it off at the point. Now once you've cut it, don't pull it and stretch it too much at this point, because otherwise your outer covering will come off it. Now I use these paper clips. I use these type because these are your typical metal paper clip, but they've got this coating on them, which is just like you would have on a bungee cord. They have like a plastic coating on them. So now in this one, if you straighten out the big end, because these are the smaller type paper clips, you straighten out the big end, keep the small end together. That small end is actually the perfect size for the end of your bungee hook. Now you might think, oh, do you know what, it's only a bungee hook, it's only a paper clip, it's not going to be tough enough to take it. But you know, when it's small and it's bent over like that, it's ample strong enough. And we're going to make the end of the hook a little bit smaller, like that, just to give it that little bit of strength. Now with this part straightened out, the trick with this is it's a little bit like fastening a shoelace. You've got to get the right amount of tension between the winder and the elastic. If you don't, it won't work. Now I try my best to get the bungee on the inside of the hook, because that is, again in scale terms, that is where it would be, but you can twist that afterwards, so don't worry too much. Now what I do, I don't know if you can see there, I've pinched the bungee against the wire and I've done it quite tight. Don't do it too hard, otherwise you'll strip the coating off this, and once you've cut it, it all starts coming away. But then at this point, wrap your finger around that, and you've got to keep this taut, because what you're going to do now is you're going to put a right angle bend on that, nice and sharp. Keep this taut with your fingers and wind it. Now if you haven't got it taut enough, it's going to bend all over the place. But if you keep it nice and taut, one, it's constricting the bungee so that the wire can go tight around it, and two, it's also giving you something to twist it around like that. Now don't put too many coils, because again on a bungee there isn't that many, and if you're really clever you wind it a bit tighter as you go further down, getting that slightly tapered look. And the way you do that is you twist the whole thing at the base. Then at this point, relax that back off, take that off, get your wire cutters, get it nice and close to the end. Be careful, because these bits will shoot off and hit you in the face. Cut it off, then get your little pliers and just push that point in so it's not sticking out. One thing I forgot you'll want here is a lighter. Now we're not trying to melt this, because the bottom line is you won't, it's cotton. We're just going to use it to neaten it up, it's a lot easier. And just give it a quick frazz like that. Don't get rid of it completely. You want that there. Now remember, like I said before, the bungee point is usually on the inside of the hook, not on the outside. So what you do at this point is just hold that tight with your fingers and twist it. And keep twisting until, there you go, the bungee hook is now going over the bungee. So it's on the inside just like it should be. And like I say, remember your scale as well. If this thing's too long, like this, it's clearly not realistic. We want this to look scale. So at full stretch, I'd personally only go there. That gives you plenty enough to stretch over things, round things and stuff like that. I must confess I do have a few that are longer, but you've got to bear in mind that over your average luggage rack, which is only 3 to 4 inches wide, if this is 5 inches, it's going to be too loose. So take it in, cut it, I'm going to go about there. That's probably what, 4 inches, something like that. Get the next coat hanger, paper clip, I'll get my words out yet. Same as before, open up the wide end, keep the narrow end in, like that. Take off a little bit of the hook because it's a little bit too long. That's that done. And then the same again. Place it in just the right point. You see there, I do it a bit from the end. Pinch, and remember, look, like I say, it's going either side of it there. Then you pinch it across it with your pliers. Pull this bit, wrap it around your little finger. Now, because you've done this one, be a bit careful wrapping it round, because I have had a couple of mishaps where it's skidded through and I've nearly hooked the hook into my flesh. Again, get that 90-degree bend first to start it. Pull this taut and start your twist. Not too tight at first, you want it to be a little bit wider. And then after your second pass, close your fingers in a bit, get a little bit tighter. By your third pass, really start to wind it in tight with your fingers, and you'll get that slightly conical effect that you do get on a bungee. Release it. Nip it off. Get your pliers and just push that bit back in. Again, be careful at this point, because if you're not careful, this coating on these is only delicate, and if you scrape your pliers around on it, you rough it up. I mean, it'll still work, but we're talking about aesthetics here. It's all about making it look the part. And just fry away that end piece. Now, I'm a bit of a pernickety bugger, and you see I've got this gap here which I don't want. This is where these come in good, because they're long enough to get to the end here and pinch on there and just close that gap in for it to look a bit more in the right place. And this one, I managed to get it in the right place the first time, so I don't need to do any twisting. And hey ho, one bungee cord. Scale perfect, and you know what, it can hold a remarkable amount of weight. I mean, if I make a bit of a loop knot on this, there we go. Now this is clearly heavier than any pair of bungees on your scale chuck are gonna need. I mean, that's probably, oh, I don't know, 400 or 500 grams, half a kilo, something like that. And that is plenty strong enough to support that, even giving it some serious grief. That is plenty enough to hold your little jerry cans onto your luggage rack and stuff like that. So there you go, guys. Hope you like it. Take your pick of your colours and things like that. Paper clips, I think these are like 99p from the pound store for a box of like 200. I tend to only use the white ones and the red ones just because I feel I've only ever really seen white and red bungee hooks. Don't see many other colours. I stick with those ones. And yeah, black, what's its name? Take your pick. I'm going to have a go at making a cargo net, because now I've got a trailer, I want to make a cargo net, and I'm going to guess I'm going to need about 20 of these to do it. And I'm going to try using wire to hook them together into tabs and things. But I'll have a go at it, see how it goes, and if it goes well, I might do an instructional video. Hope you like it, guys. Later.